Hello, trading is closed on April 17th, 2018. Had some calls yesterday. We had a MEJT target of 2684.35 and that printed. I said I didn't think there was a lot left on the upside. We might go a little bit higher, but not a lot. I'm going to invoke my standard rule. Gapping strongly in the undesired direction kills the call before the open. We gapped up smartly, so that prediction's killed before the open. No harm. During the day, we got an ultimate sell signal. The minimum target was hit. We almost always get more, though it doesn't have to be tomorrow. So there's an optional target of 2697.39. Here we said ultimately lower prices would print, but that was false. This rally was false. This drop was false. We got all those retracements, but that's still a target. There's no specific time limit. Usually we don't have to wait long, but usually and always aren't the same thing. Well, we had some pretty good breakouts here. We finally made a convincing close over this resistance area. And this is the first break of this trend line that I think looks credible. Now, Tom DeMark has something called a critical qualifier, which means you have to go past today's close by a tick. In other words, if we gap down tomorrow and don't fill the gap, this breakout does not count. So what are the chances of that happening? Well, tomorrow's pattern is the one with the early low and the late high, has a strong tendency to rally throughout most of the day and hit its high in the final hour. That's a bullish pattern. The only time it isn't bullish is if we gap down sharply at the open. Now, futures are up as I'm recording this, but that doesn't tell us anything about how we'll open. So all these things I've said are good. What are the chances the bears finally win one? Well, this is the fourth day in a row we gapped up and couldn't hold on to the early highs. It's negative unless we gap over the high. So we have to gap over this high or at least trade over it promptly tomorrow. If we don't, the odds are we're going to gap under this low. And if not, probably close a little change, have the big move on Thursday. Well, here's the old VIX, VXO. We finally have a bar under the lower Bollinger Band. There's no reversal yet, but if we do reverse above the band, that's a sign of a top. Hasn't happened yet. At this point in the pattern, you can make the wave count say whatever you want. You take the distance from here to this recent low, 50% is right here. You have all the fib relationships you need. That's 5 waves up for A. Here's your ABC for B. And this C is exactly 50% of this A. And this ABC is a fib target. You forget the actual high, take the high before it, the high after it, draw a trend line. That's your resistance area. So, I think tomorrow's open is going to be very telling. Everything is pointing to a gap up on the upside, breaking through resistance and going higher. But if we gap down sharply instead, which based on someone else's methodology I don't think is impossible, if we gap down sharply instead, there's a reasonable chance it's the real thing. The open's telling, here are the targets, and that's today's call.